Good afternoon. Well, we have our second meeting and we have 15 minutes scheduled. As we had left, we will try to identify the communicative skills to work in teams in remote environments. Hopefully, this identification will allow us. This identification will allow us to evaluate which skills our teammates have and which lack, and so see what training needs they have and how we can support them to increase again productivity and above all motivation. Okay, perfect. Well, I am going to share with you the document I have prepared with the compilation of the abilities that I have found. Do you see the screen? At the moment, no. Now, perfect. Well, after collecting various research on communication skills on computers working remotely, we can find four main groupings, as you can see. The first is general communication skills, then we focus on written communication, then in the oral, then in digital skills, and finally there are others that are related to digital, and they are those that will help us to strengthen and promote the communicative process in remote environments. We have to make sure, first of all, that the general communication skills correspond to basic approaches such as organizing, articulating, and developing messages. And here we find mainly general written and oral communication skills and documentation skills. Within the written and oral ones, as schematize the material before writing or speaking, use an appropriate tone and formality, write or speak naturally. Within written communication skills, I have found that we can separate between the generals of written communication, more focused on the process of writing, formatting, and communication through the computer, that is, written, but through digital media. Among the generals of written communication, it is the basic writing, that is, writing documents with correct spelling. In the writing process is write clearly and accurately, organize, develop and write reports, edit and review documents thoroughly. In formatting skills, it's like creating draft documents, formatting correctly, incorporate headings, indications, and all this carried through computers or tablets, which is how we are working today. There must be an adequate and effective use of email, an adequate and effective use of instant messaging, messaging applications, use appropriate video conferencing programs, as we have seen in other sections of the course. And then those oral communication skills that focus on interpersonal oral communication. Within these there are actively and attentively listening, responding and acting appropriately to the messages received, etc. We must also bear in mind that we have to differentiate between oral communication with colleagues, with clients, with management, and then negotiation skills. Between oral communication with colleagues, thus participating in meetings with concentration and purpose, maybe this has been lost a little bit with remote teamwork and we should encourage it. This may be one of the ways, I don't know.
Christina, maybe that is the one that interests us the most, or?
I will finish, and then we will see everything, right? Then oral communication with customers, explaining complex concepts to customers, properly apply the techniques with the direction, as accurately describe situations to superiors, participate in performance reviews. Then we have those of negotiation. How to apply mutually accepted norms and standards, provide creative and beneficial solutions to needs and concerns, minimize reliance on power and status to force resolution, etc. And then it is also important to take into account presentation skills, because visual support is also often used in remote environments. Like organizing information to be manageable, to speak clearly and accurately, create presentations using appropriate software, maintain composure before the public, maintain attention and interest, which in remote as it is always more complicated. And then in terms of digital skills, which are those skills to transmit information online and reflect on how is the best way to present that information to the recipient, to whom it is addressed. In our case, on the remote team, to our colleagues with our projects and tasks, we find the digital skills of information, that is, we have to know how to look for that information. Information management, that is, the ability to keep information in documents, in archives. The ability also to evaluate that information, that is, to judge what information is useful and not. How to transmit or express in a communicative way that information, that is, to shape interpersonal impressions and get satisfactory results from those interactions with your team members. A skill also important is to choose the right place to convey that information or message and carefully consider its content, as well as communication networking skills, which are necessary because social applications offer individuals this opportunity to establish and maintain contacts, although they are not face-to-face. Collaborate, the ability to collaborate, that is, to work effectively and together in teams to achieve that common goal and to assume each one of their responsibilities, because it seems that in remote environments the responsibility is diluted a little. And this will also allow us to identify the specific functions of each member based on their experience and on the ability they have to support the work of others. The networking skills of communication. And finally, the content sharing. In fact, we have seen in it during the course, for example, file exchanges programs. And then we have to take into account also, related to these skills, 3 digital skills, which are critical thinking, creativity, and problem solving that have to help to communication skills in remote or virtual work teams, as we are currently doing in our company. Well, this is what I found amiable and what I wanted to convey to you. What do you think?
Perfect, but now how do we organize this? What do I do? Do I analyze from here what I think is most interesting? Do I decide how to organize this meeting?
We already agreed on how you had to organize all this, and from here you have to start. It's your team and you should know it. When you sort it out, call me and we go on. Look, we finished 5 minutes ahead of schedule and everything. Sorry, I'm going to take the opportunity to have a coffee.
Well, amiable, keep me in touch. Have a good day.